Hello, everyone. Today we'll be examining some of the areas in the state of Idaho that offer the best opportunities for either relocating or investing in real estate. I'm using an excellent resource by author Joel Skousen entitled Strategic Relocation, and he has done extensive research in finding areas to relocate here in the US and abroad. He has a system of like a 0 to 5 stars, and he gives each state the amount of stars that he thinks will deserve it for that state, depending on several factors. So some of the criteria finding his research factors in areas prone to things like natural disasters, provides information on the kind of climate that the state has or certain regions in the state, a freedom index, politics, land and urban planning, taxes, and whether the state is homeschooling friendly, among many other factors. It is an excellent resource and I will highly recommend it. For the purposes of this video, I am taking into consideration all this amazing research and adding some important factors to narrow down our search. Therefore, the criteria I'm using to establish this location or investment opportunities are based on factors such as housing affordability, which we know how unaffordable real estate is in the cities, things like climate, which covers geography, food production, potential. Basically, I narrowed down the search to some properties that have at least an acre of land and might have usable land, so people can have land, be able to start orchards or gardens, or be able to have farm animals, and the proximity to healthcare and services. So I'm just going to read a little bit from his book. I think we should at least cover a little bit what he says here. So he says that Idaho is tied with Utah in his top rated states for overall secure location. Both have been downgraded to 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. He blames it on basically some politics going on there. And almost all, he said, almost all states, they have some issues with that. He also states that most people driving through Idaho on I-15 or I-84 don't realize that it's a primarily mountainous state. It is a hunting and camping paradise in the northern half of the state, which sits on a massive mountain backbone, and most of this is tied up as U.S. protected wilderness areas, which limit the public's vehicular access. Hunting and fishing are allowed in all areas and add to the state's survival rating. There are 3 distinct zones in Idaho, and each of them has their own culture, he states. The center and northern half of the state is nearly uninhabited and is covered by the Sawtooth Challis, Nez Perce, and Clearwater National Forest. These are highly forested mountain ranges where you need significant outdoor skills before you venture deep into this area. The second is the Snake River farming area in the southern and eastern region, which has a similar feel to Utah. The most important thing here are there is a few nuclear targets in Idaho. It also boasts little corruption, low population densities, well-prepared communities, fertile land, isolating climate, and secure hills and mountains. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over some of the areas that offer some of the most affordable areas to live in Idaho. We know that things have changed there as far as housing affordability, like in every other state in the country, but mostly due to the amount of movement that there has happened there. It's a lot of people leaving California and going to Idaho. A lot of people going from many other states and going there. It's a much more tax-friendly state, and there's a lot of advantages that people find in Idaho. So let's dive into some of these opportunities that the state offers for relocation, considering these factors. Okay, the first area that I would like to talk about is the Long Valley, which is the area around McCall, and it has the Cascade Reservoir at the south end and the Payette Lake in the north. So let's dive in and take a look at this area here. Let's see. So we see that prices are pretty much. Okay, so we can find places anywhere from 475 all the way up. So you're looking at here a manufactured home. I know a lot of people are not really fond of manufactured homes, but if they have a permanent foundation, they will qualify for a loan. So that's something to keep in mind. The land there looks very usable. Let's take a quick look here. The details is on 1 acre. Looks like it's very, very usable. And looks like there is some wildlife. You are basically nestled in the mountains. Let's take a look at another property. Okay, so you're looking at $700,000 and $800,000 homes and even more. This one here for 635 can be another option. It's almost 2.5 acres of very usable, about 1,600 square feet. This actually looks like a really good possibility. And you can get a pretty decent home for that price and have the outbuildings and firewood and beautiful, beautiful land. Let's take a quick look at some other space, other homes around here. This looks like maybe closer to, well, it's at least an acre. Looks like the home is in need of repairs. But then again, you know, if you are able to get some updates done, you're looking at some usable land, which is probably what you will want. Then if we look even further, well, we get into the unaffordable range. You can get, well, let's take a look. This one here, 789, and it's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath, and a little bit over an acre. So we can see that there's also some possibilities here. So the other area that he talks about is this area north of Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene is, can be very expensive, but if you look into areas north of Coeur d'Alene, you might be okay. So like this one, for example, well, it's a pretty small home on Priest River, Idaho. It's 389. Looks like it's not even finished, or looks very rustic, but you can find something in that price range. Then you start getting into a higher range, you know, if it's all fixed up beautifully. Coeur d'Alene tends to be pretty pricey. You know, if you go down here, you still get in the 700 range. But this area here, Plummer, Idaho, again, looks like there's a lot of land. If you like the cold, it gets freezing cold in the wintertime, but this is almost 21 acres. You get a lot of land for your money. Definitely beautiful. Lots of possibilities here. Yeah. So we can look at some other areas there. If we look at somewhere closer to the highway, say 475 is 35 acres. This is definitely going to be more, you know, outside of areas where to have access to services might be a little challenging, to say the least. But as a retreat area, might not be bad. This is again Plummer, Idaho. Let's take a look here. If we zoom in, yeah, this is Coeur d'Alene. Very popular area, beautiful. This one is 775, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. You're definitely close. You have all the goods and services nearby here, and then you have land near the river, which might be a good thing. So this is over an acre. If we look closer here, well, and you get into the $1 million homes, yeah, it can be very expensive. So you'd probably want to stay north of that area. You can find areas there that might work, that might be way more affordable. So let's see here. Yeah, even like up, well, Yeah, it all depends. But if you stay north of Coeur d'Alene, you definitely will have a better chance. So here is a populated area. He recommends the north of Coeur d'Alene. So you're looking at around here, this area. So it's still going to be pretty expensive depending on how far from goods and services. Again, the closer you are, the more expensive. But you can still find, you might be able to still find properties that are, yeah, like this one. So this is going to be more up there. Still, you might still be within an hour or so from where you gotta go here. If you have to go and to the grocery store, or if you have to go to the hospital. So let's take a look at Lewiston in Idaho also. So prices here are anywhere from $399 to $1 million homes. So let's take a look at something like that and see so this one is exactly an acre. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. And if we look at some other properties there, well, it looks like that's pretty much it. Then you have that one for $535. Doesn't look like it's really usable as far as the land. And then you're looking more at the higher range of $799 price range. And you still get beautiful land usable. The next one is Moscow, Idaho. And so $675. Let's see what you get for $675. You get 5 acres, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and beautiful home and beautiful, beautiful land. And let's see. So if we look at anything else here, let's say this one right here. So you're looking at least $500,000 anywhere around here. I mean, that's pretty good for what places go for in Idaho nowadays. So this one here, you got at least an acre, and you have tons of trees and beautiful land and lots of seclusion. And 4.5 acres. And well, let's see. Let's look at one more for $549. This one is 3 acres. It's an older home, but you have an outbuilding, and I'm not sure what's going on there, but you got definitely some good land here to do what you need to do. And definitely lots of space between you and your neighbors. So that gives you an idea on that. So you're looking at anywhere at least $500,000, anywhere to 800 as far as so-called affordable in Idaho, which, you're better off finding a place in one of those areas. If you stay more closer to the main towns, like Coeur d'Alene, it's going to be way more. So I hope you found this useful. Make sure that you check out that book because it's really useful. It has a lot of great tips, and it might even have some other areas there that you might like that are not necessarily the ones mentioned here, but it's always good to be on the lookout and comparing areas and climate. Of course, Idaho, you're going to be looking at a much colder climate in the wintertime. So thank you so much for your time, and please subscribe and like my video and share it with your friends. Hope to have you next time. Thank you. Are you tired of the city life? In recent years, in the wake of some global events, many Americans have found themselves wanting to relocate in search for a new frontier away from the city life, the homelessness, crowded areas, high crime, and chaos. For many, they wish to capitalize on the freedom that remote work provides. For some, finding affordable housing, looking for rural locations to save money. The move toward rural America is still going. The National Association of Realtors still support this trend. The reason? People are looking for better quality of life, housing affordability, safety, more space, less pollution, connecting with nature, and more freedom. In this channel, we analyze real estate market trends and examine all the different areas throughout the U.S. where opportunities are for those who are looking to get out of the cities and start a new life for them and their families. If you're looking to relocate anywhere in the U.S., please contact me to schedule a Zoom consultation. I have been a real estate broker for almost 2 decades with experience in relocation strategies and would be happy to assist you in your particular situation.